everybody, it's Jerry, and today we have something by request, and that is a Swedish princess cake. Now, this cake has a lot of different elements, so it is fairly complicated and time-consuming, but each of the individual elements are actually not that difficult to make. So we've got 2 layers of sponge cake, we've got a layer of raspberry jam, there is some pastry cream, and then some whipped cream, and the whole thing is covered with a marzipan. So let me show you how to do it.
We're going to start off by making the cake. So we're going to take 4 teaspoons of psyllium husk, whole husk, add 1 cup of water, mix it together, and just let it sit for a few minutes to thicken. Meanwhile, we're going to take 1 large apple, which has been peeled, cored, and chopped, place it in a food processor, along with 2/3 of a cup of agave. And then we're going to just blend that all together until it's nice and smooth. And then we're going to add that into the psyllium husk mixture. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of oil and a teaspoon of vanilla. Mix that all together. And then we're going to add in our dry ingredients, which is going to be 1 1/3 cups of brown rice flour, two-thirds of a cup of tapioca flour, two tablespoons of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Mix that all together until it's all combined. And then just beat it by hand for a minute. It'll just thicken up a little bit. And then we're going to pour that into a 9-inch springform pan, which has been sprayed with oil and floured with some brown rice flour, just to make sure nothing sticks. Just shake it until it's nice and even, and bake at 350 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out clean. Next, we're going to make the raspberry jam. So we're going to take 1 6-ounce package of raspberries, add 2 tablespoons, or 3 tablespoons actually, of agave. It just depends on how sweet your raspberries are, how much agave you want to add. And we're just going to cook that over medium heat until it all breaks down, and eventually it will thicken up a little bit and it'll get nice and syrupy. And then you can just remove that from the heat and let it cool. Next, we're going to take 1 cup of oats, which have been blended with 2 cups of water, place that in a saucepan, add to it 1/2 cup of sugar, and about 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And just mix that together with a whisk. And we're going to heat that up over medium heat. Meantime, we're going to take 2 tablespoons of kuzu combined with a 1/4 cup of water and mix that until it's completely dissolved, and just set it aside. While the oat milk mixture is cooking, it's going to thicken, so just keep whisking it so that it doesn't burn. And once it comes to a boil, add the kuzu mixture in and whisk that in over and lower the heat to low heat. And mix that up until it's all well combined and dissolved. And then we're also going to add in 2 teaspoons of agar powder. And just continue mixing that until that's completely dissolved and mixed in. And then you can remove that from the heat and let that cool. Next, we're going to make our whipped cream, and this is just very standard coconut whipped cream. We're going to take 3 cans of coconut milk, which have been chilled overnight or for a few days until the cream all separates. You can also just use cans of coconut cream. And we're going to place that in a stand mixer. And just start whipping that together until it starts to get creamy. And then we're going to add in about 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And half a cup of powdered sugar. And just continue whipping that until it gets nice and creamy and everything is well combined. And then just put that in the refrigerator to chill while we're waiting to be ready for it. Now, once the cake is completely cooled, we're going to cut it into 3 layers. And we're going to take the pastry cream mixture, which has been cooled, and place that in a stand mixer and just beat that up. And if it's a little too thick, just add a little bit of water until it comes together to make a nice creamy texture. And then we're going to pipe that onto the outer edge of the first cake layer with a nice thick edge. And then take the raspberry jam and spread that inside of the outer edge of pastry cream. And then we're going to take about 1/3 of the whipped cream and fold that into the remaining pastry cream. Just fold that together until that's all well combined. And then take about half and spread that on top of the jam. And then we're going to take the second layer of cake and place that on top. Spread the remaining pastry cream, whipped cream combo on top of the cake. And then take the final layer of cake, place that on top. And spoon the remaining whipped cream on top of that. And then we're going to shape that whipped cream into a nice rounded dome on top of the cake. And then we're going to place that in the freezer for about 30 minutes to an hour. Now we're going to make the marzipan. So we're going to take 2 teaspoons of psyllium husk and 1/3 cup of water. Mix that together. Let that sit for a minute to thicken. And then in a stand mixer with a dough mixer on it, we're going to put 4 cups of almond flour in the mixing bowl. Add in the psyllium husk mixture. And just mix that at medium speed. Let that all combine. And then we're going to add in our powdered sugar. So we're going to add in about 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. And just keep mixing it, and it should come together to form a nice dough. And then we're also going to add some food coloring. So we're going to add some green food coloring to get the shade that you like. And once that's all mixed together, we're going to take it out of the bowl. And we want to just make sure it's not sticky at all. So just depending on how sticky it is, add in some more flour and or sugar until it's not sticking to your hands at all. And then we're going to take a surface which is covered with some plastic wrap and powder the one side of the dough with some powdered sugar and flour the top as well with some powdered sugar. And we're going to roll this out to about 14 inches. Nice 14-inch circle. We want to make sure that we have plenty to cover the cake with. And then just take it and flip it onto the cake and remove the plastic wrap. And then just adjust the marzipan on top and cut off any excess. And just shape it with your hands, and then take a damp brush and just brush off any excess sugar from the top. And then transfer it onto your serving dish. And just finish adjusting it with your hands. And then if you want to decorate it, we can take some 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, a tablespoon of either cocoa powder or carob powder, whichever you prefer, and just add a little bit of water at a time just to make a frosting. So we're just going to mix that together until we get the consistency we're looking for. And if it's too thick, just add a little bit more water. You want to go a little bit at a time so that you don't get it to be too thin. And once you get the consistency you want, place it in a squeeze bottle and decorate it however you like. And it's ready to serve.
Thanks everybody for watching. Please tune in next time for some more recipes. Make some comments if you want some requests for recipes that you would like to see, and I will see you next time.